news.
Good evening. This is Idowu Shekoni, and reading with me is
Afolakemi Akombi. Good evening.
We're bringing you Newscope, our daily news program of in-depth reports, interviews, and commentaries. First, the highlights. Presidency clears air on controversial 3.3 trillion naira electricity debt repayment.
Defense headquarters confirms death of terrorist soldiers in Borno attack.
Oyo government presents specialized operational vehicle to authorities of SLA Airport, Ibadan.
Boats mishap kills 4 off northern France coast.
Now the news in full. The presidency has clarified the controversy surrounding the 3.3 trillion naira legacy debt repayment plan approved by President Bola Tinubu, stating that the initiative is part of a structured reform to stabilize Nigeria's power sector and improve electricity supply. According to presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga, the debt was reduced from 4.7 trillion naira to 3.3 trillion naira after a comprehensive verification process, ensuring that only valid and contract-backed obligations are settled through a phased market-based financing framework. While the government confirmed that over 223 billion naira has already been disbursed and multiple generation companies have signed agreements, concerns were raised by the Association of Generation Companies of Nigeria over discrepancies in the debt calculation and lack of full stakeholder inclusion. The presidency, however, maintained that the program is not a blanket payout but a transparent effort to restore liquidity, strengthen the electricity market, and ensure long-term sustainability for that sector and the Nigerian economy.
Meanwhile, reactions are still pouring in following the federal government decision to offset the outstanding debt worth 3.3 trillion naira in the electricity sector as part of the Presidential Power Sector Financial Reforms Program. The step came at a time Nigerians were currently facing irregular power supply. In this report, Olami Posishola takes a comprehensive look at the 3.3 trillion naira electricity debt offset challenges and way forward.
Without a doubt, Nigerians face electricity challenges coupled with a constant collapse of national grid. As a result of these developments, a significant number of Nigerians have been left feeling helpless, specifically with regard to electricity distribution. Ambassador Bolaji Akiremi, former Nigerian High Commissioner to Singapore, believes the decision is indeed the right step in the right direction.
So far, he has started the grid sector, which has not been. We've been looking at only transmission and distribution, but the grid itself is a core, and this sector now the president has had it. 3.3 trillion, it's another commitment of Mr. President towards electricity, power generation, distribution, transmission in Nigeria. And I have confidence that it's going to deliver. I have confidence, and this is going to transform Nigeria. Now we are struggling with about 6,000 kilowatts. Things are going to change tremendously. The issue we have is that there have been a lot of degeneration of this infrastructure, and it takes a long time for things like that to take shape.
While some Nigerians applauded the move by the federal government, a former staff of the defunct NEPA, Comrade Sam Agbetoye, called for proper investigation on the purported electricity debts.
I don't believe that they were even owing the generation 6.8 trillion naira. For how many years? Because when Krikalio was there as the general secretary, he said it. NEPA has never been privatized. It was only distributed to them. The generating station has ever increased its production, and then let us even go and even see the gas. where they are even purchasing all the gas. Let them even bring the receipt for us to calculate all these things. I don't believe that they are going to they are even owing them. You know, the other time when I said it, I said those people said they were even owing them 6.8 trillion. They are thieves. And then those people, the person that who want to even pay, who said they want to pay, they are rogue. Let them even publish all the paper. They used to even purchase all these things so that we can see. When do they even generate electricity? That they said they were able to 6.8 trillion naira. In my house, I know they even iron my clothes again. When I watch, and because when they won't give you supply.
According to the federal government, the debt settlement is expected to improve liquidity across the power value chain and enhance electricity generation. OluyELETI OFEole, BCS News.
The Defense Headquarters has confirmed that terrorist and military personnel were killed when insurgents launched a coordinated attack on the 29th Task Force Brigade headquarters in Beni Sheikh, Borno State. The military, however, did not confirm or debunk reports that the commander of the 29th Brigade, Brigadier General Hussaini Brahima, was among those killed in the incident. In a statement today by the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, the attack occurred at about 12:30 a.m. on the 9th of April 2026 when insurgents attempted to breach the defensive perimeter of the military installation. He said troops of Operation Hadin Kai led by the brigadier commander, responded with exceptional courage, professionalism and superior firepower, forcing the attackers to retreat. The Defense Headquarters described the attack as a sign of desperation by insurgents who had suffered significant losses in recent military operations. The military acknowledged that the encounter resulted in casualties among troops. It added that the High Command had extended condolences to the families of the fallen personnel and urged the public to avoid spreading unverified information, especially on social media. The Defense Headquarters also disclosed that clearance operations were ongoing to track fleeing insurgents and prevent them from regrouping.
The Commissioner of Police in Zamfara, Ahmad Bello, has confirmed the killing of 2 police officers and 3 civilians in an attack by suspected bandits in the Yakasira Laka community in the state. The command's spokesperson, Yazi Abubakar, confirmed this today in a statement. He said that the CP made the disclosure during a condolence visit to the affected community. He stated that on Tuesday, armed bandits, no fewer than 50 motorcycles, invaded the community and the police strike units immediately responded, killing 11 bandits and injuring several others. He added that during the exchange of fire, 2 police personnel and 3 civilians lost their lives, while 1 police officer sustained injuries and is currently receiving treatment. He sympathized with the families of the deceased and the entire community over the unfortunate incident. He also reassured residents of the command's unwavering commitment to strengthening the security architecture and restoring lasting peace and normalcy in the area. He further urged the public to always support security agencies with credible and reliable information.
Academic activities at the University of Jos are set to resume fully following a return to calm after the deadly attack in Angwan Rukuba, which left over 33 people dead, including 2 students of the institution. Vice-Chancellor Tanko Ishaya confirmed that the violence directly affected the university community, with 2 students killed and others, including a staff member, injured and currently receiving treatment. He said examinations earlier postponed due to the crisis and curfew in Jos North will now resume on the 13th of April, assuring that security has been significantly strengthened across campuses. The university also expressed condolences to affected families and called for sustained support from government and security agencies to prevent a recurrence of such incidents.
The Oyo State government has presented a fully equipped specialized operational vehicle to the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, as part of its ongoing effort to upgrade the Samuel Ladoke Akitola Airport Ibadan to international standards. The vehicle was handed over to the agency by the chairman of the Ladoke Akitola Airport Upgrade Committee, Mr. Bimbo Adekombi, on behalf of the state government. Details of the events held within the airport premises are presented by Governor's Office correspondent Olaliko Sulaiman.
The work of Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA.
Thank you so much. We say a big thank you to the Governor.
Presenting the operational vehicle on behalf of the state government, the chairman of the Ladoke Akintola Airport Upgrade Committee, Mr. Bimbo Adekombi, said the vehicle, fitted with modern communication equipment, is expected to enhance airspace management and support critical aviation infrastructure at the airport. He added that the gesture underscores the government's commitment to the airport upgrade project, noting that while domestic flight operations have already commenced, construction work on the international terminal is also ongoing.
Is a specialized vehicle. It's fully kitted. It's going to aid the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, and their work. They have a critical function to perform at the airport because they are the ones that grant access to the airside, and this vehicle will be speaking to the instrument landing system and all critical aviation infrastructure. Like it was said when the vehicle was being received by NAMA, this has never happened before that we know about. So this goes on to show the commitment, and we are still continuing. The airside is delivered, local flights ongoing, and we are committed to delivering the international terminal and for international operations to resume after the conclusion of the construction of the terminal.
In his response, the NAMA manager, Mr. Gbenga Famushipe, represented by Mr. Olumide Odutayo, commended the state government for the donation, noting that the vehicle will significantly enhance operational efficiency and safety.
To the governor for this gesture, because this is one of a kind that has happened to us. The representative of the governor has actually explained to us the essence of the vehicle, and I'm here on behalf of my airspace manager, Mr. Gbenga Famushipe. We say thank you. We say big thank you to him, because this will enhance our operations, running the runway, the tower, the equipment side, going up and down to make sure everything is intact, so that people who are flying, as we know NAMA is for safety, they can be safe while flying.
Accompanying Mr. Bimbo Adekombi was the secretary of the Ladoke Akintola Airport Upgrade Committee, Ms. Sheyi Akinbon. Oluyeleti Sulaiman, BCS News.
The leadership of the Southwest Zonal Council of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners (NUP) has formally commended Governor Seyi Makinde for his exceptional commitment to retirees' welfare, highlighting his historic sacrifice of personal salaries and the consistent monthly payment of pensions. This is contained in a statement jointly signed by the Chairman, Southwest Zonal Council of the NUP, Comrade Waidi Oluyede, and the Secretary, Comrade Sunday Akin. According to the statement, since assuming office in 2019, the present administration has systematically cleared long-standing gratuities dating back to 2008, increasing monthly releases to a record of 6 billion naira as of February 2026 to settle inherited liabilities. The union specifically praised the institutionalization of a 25,000 naira minimum pension and the inclusion of elderly members in free health insurance schemes, noting that these reforms have restored dignity and financial stability to thousands of families. It stated that by restoring over 3,000 previously removed pensioners to the payroll and providing festive bonuses, the governor has set a new national benchmark for compassionate governance and elderly care in Nigeria.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. The Otun Balogun Ariagbe of Ibadan Land, Chief Folorunsho Ogunaike, has been invested as the 23rd President of the Ibadan Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. In his welcome address, the Chairman Board of Trustees of the Chamber, Architect Bamidele Samson, congratulated the new President and urged members to support the new leadership in advancing the Chamber's objectivities. Delivering a lecture titled Governments and Chambers of Commerce as Complementary Critical Drivers of the Economy, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Investment, Industry and Cooperatives, Mr. Olajide Okeshade, emphasized the need for synergy between government and private sector players to ensure policies that support economic growth. Speaking at the event, the chairman of the occasion and former Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Senator Sefiu Kaka, described Chief Ogunaike as a seasoned professional whose wealth of experience positions him well for the role. Also advised the new leadership to strengthen collaboration with government to enhance economic development. In his acceptance speech, the newly inaugurated President, Chief Folorunsho Ogunaike, pledged to reposition the chamber by revitalizing non-performing trade groups and standing committees to make them more active, vibrant and result-oriented. The ceremony was attended by the State Commissioner for Trade, Investment, Industry and Cooperatives, Mr. Adeniyi Adebisi, the State Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Mr. Ademola Aderito, traditional rulers including the Osi Olubadan Oba Abiodun Kola Daisy and the Babaloja of Ibadan Land, Alhaji Yekin Abbas.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has recorded over 3.4 million new voters in the ongoing second phase of the continuous voter registration exercise nationwide, according to the Commission's Week 13 update released on Wednesday in Abuja. A total of 3,441,221 registrations have been completed as of the 3rd of April, covering both online pre-registrations and physical walk-ins. INEC disclosed that over 2 million citizens completed their registration online, while over 1 million others registered physically at designated centers across the country. According to INEC, youth participation remained dominant, with citizens aged between 18 and 34 accounting for over 2 million registrants, representing 68.43% of the total figure. The Commission noted that the figure remains provisional, explaining that it is a preliminary figure pending data cleanup during the period for citizens' claims and objections, followed by the deployment of the automated biometric identification system. It further stated that voter registration remains suspended in the Federal Capital Territory, in line with Section 9, Subsection 6 of the Electoral Act 2022, following the Area Council election held on February 21. INEC urged eligible Nigerians who have yet to register to visit the official portals to complete their registration before the deadline.
A chieftain of the African Democratic Congress ADC, Nofi Bala, today led a group of his supporters to the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC in Abuja, intensifying the party's ongoing leadership crisis. His protest comes barely 24 hours after the MAC-led group staged a similar demonstration at the Commission's office. Addressing supporters during the march, Bala urged INEC to recognize him as the authentic national chairman of the ADC, citing a court's appeal ruling. He accused the rival faction of attempting to unlawfully take over the party's leadership structure. He further alleged that the MAC faction engaged in fraudulent practices to legitimize its position. He argued that the implications of the alleged actions go beyond the party, warning that they could foster a culture of impunity and disillusionment among the electorate. The faction leader called on relevant authorities to investigate the claims and ensure accountability. He also urged INEC to update its official records to reflect its position, insisting that such a move would align with the court's ruling and help stabilize the party.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) says Lassa fever fatalities have risen sharply in 2026 in spite of a decline in new confirmed cases in the latest reporting week. The NCDC, in its epidemiological Week 13 report made available to newsmen today in Abuja, disclosed that 167 deaths have been recorded so far within the year. The Nigerian Public Health Institute says the case fatality rate is 25.2%, significantly higher than the 18.5% recorded during the same period in 2025. According to the report, 26 new confirmed cases were recorded in Week 13, a decrease from 51 cases reported in the previous week, adding that the cases were reported across 7 states: Edo, Bauchi, Ondo, Taraba, Ebonyi, Benue, and Kaduna. It's noted that young adults between the ages of 21 and 30 remain the most affected group, with a median age of 30 years. The report also highlighted persistent challenges driving the high fatality rate, including late presentation of cases, poor health-seeking behavior, and high cost of treatment.
And on the foreign scene, 4 people have died off the coast of northern France after attempting to board a boat to take them across the English Channel, local authorities have disclosed. Foreign Desk editor Folashade Akintola compiles the story and others as presented by Khadijat Lawal.
2 men and 2 women died after they tried to board a water taxi and the current, which can be dangerous here, swept them away. The Pas-de-Calais prefecture said at a news conference, adding that the death toll was still provisional. 1 person was treated for hypothermia and had no life-threatening injuries, and 37 others were taken to the hospital, he added. The boat continued its journey towards the UK, carrying around 30 people. Rescue efforts began at first light this morning around 7:30 local time after the incident off the coast of Saint-Étienne-Homo, south of Boulogne-sur-Mer in Pas-de-Calais. The number of attempted crossings has risen in recent days due to the calm weather in the channel. Meanwhile, Mexican army divers have rescued a miner from a flooded underground tunnel 2 weeks after he was first trapped. Francisco Zapata Nejera, 42, was stuck 300 meters, that is 985 feet, below ground after an embankment collapsed at the gold mine in the northern Mexican state of Sinaloa. Video of the rescue shows him standing in waist-deep water, telling his rescuers that he never lost faith during his ordeal. The search continues for another miner who is still missing. 25 workers were inside the gold mine when the tailings dam, a structure which holds mining waste, burst on 25th of March. 21 managed to get out, but 4 were trapped. Jose Alejandro Castillo was rescued after 5 days underground, and another miner died, but it took rescuers a full 13 days to locate Francisco Zapata. Following more than 300 hours of searching, divers finally spotted the blinking of the miner's torchlight, which Zapata had turned on and off to alert them to his location. And lastly, new Israeli airstrikes have killed more people in southern Lebanon a day after 200 people died, as the bombardment raises further doubts over the fragile United States-Iran ceasefire that Tehran says includes Lebanon. Lebanon's national news agency reported today that an Israeli strike on the town of Abbasiyeh killed at least 7 people and wounded several others, with the total expected to rise. A wave of attacks by Israeli warplanes struck towns including Kafra, Jemaimeh, Safad al-Batik, Majdal Selm, and Der Anta near Kashmir Bridge. Artillery shelling damaged the town of Haris. Separately, the Lebanese army said in a statement that 4 of its soldiers were killed in Israeli strikes on Wednesday. The Israeli military said it carried out overnight strikes in Beirut, claiming the killing of Ali Yusuf Ashi, a close aide to Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem. Hezbollah has not commented on the claim. Israel also said it targeted crossings over the Litani River and what is described as Hezbollah infrastructure. Khadija Lawal, BCS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the top stories. The presidency has clarified the controversy surrounding the 3.3 trillion naira legacy debt repayment plan approved by President Bola Tinubu, stating that the initiative is part of a structured reform to stabilize Nigeria's power sector and improve electricity supply.
The Defense Headquarters has confirmed that terrorists and military personnel were killed when insurgents launched a coordinated attack on the 29th Task Force Brigade Headquarters in Borno State.
The Oyo State government has presented a fully equipped specialized operational vehicle to the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, as part of its ongoing effort to upgrade the Samuel Ladoke Akintola Airport, Ibadan, to international standards.
4 people have died off the coast of North France after attempting to board a boat to take them across the English Channel, local authorities have disclosed.
That's all from the Newscope desk for now. It was packaged by OluyELETI and delivered by
Afolakemi Akobi. Good evening.
And Ido Shekoni. Thanks for listening, and do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.